Good evening, friends. I just want to do a really quick video here before Morgan gets home. I just got off work and I'm waiting for my friend to drop Morgan off. Okay, so I had asked a really, really good friend of mine who's also in recovery. I asked her, I said, well, I bet Pablo Escobar is probably spinning over, in his grave if he were to see all these, these dope dealers riding around on children's bicycles and whatnot and, getting high on their own supply, right? So she told me, well, she made a very valid point, though, that Pablo, that dude, he was all about the business aspect of everything. You know what I mean? I mean, as far as I know. I mean, I don't really know much about him. I know that he was a very ruthless businessman, made a lot of money, murdered, quite a few people, and was really, he wasn't into the drugs. He was the one that was supplying, everybody else with drugs. But he wasn't the one that was, doing them too. You know what I mean? Now, that's the general gist of it. That's what I get from watching videos about him and, doing a little bit of research here and there about him. I wonder who that is. It's always weird when you see somebody pulling up into the parking lot of the apartments. Anyways, yeah. So that just makes me think, okay, so back in August, let's see, August 2015, I was already, just really screwed up on drugs. I'd already lost the house. The kids were back in California with their dad. So I was hanging out at this very notorious dope house in this very shady, gated community on the Key Peninsula, right? And like I'd said previously, it's weird that, out of all those houses with all the activity going on, that house was never busted, at least, not as far as I know, which makes one wonder why. But anyway, so yeah, there's this dude who was there. He's one of these well-known dope dealers over there, sells both, sells the heroin and the meth, right? And it was August 5th. It was my birthday, right? So, he has all these drugs and all this money out on the counter in the kitchen. And I said, well, it's my birthday. And he's like, oh, yeah, that's all you're getting is a happy birthday. Ha, ha, ha. So all of him and his, druggy friends are sitting there laughing their behinds off at me, right? Okay, that's funny, right? Well, check it out. Like, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks after that. It couldn't have been a month. That had to have been like between a week and 3 weeks after that, right? I ended up meeting up with this one lady who had been a longtime customer at my old job over, St. Vincent de Paul over in Port Orchard. And she was an older woman, married to a younger man. And see, back then when I was like ignorant to what was going on in the world, I had no idea she was not just a weed addict, doing, smoking the weed, but also a meth addict, right? So long story short, I ended up smoking drugs with her. We went to this one lake or whatever, right? So we're sitting in her, in her SUV, smoking meth. And lo and behold, the dude who had the mouth on him, the dealer who had all the drugs and money, came up to her window all begging for hits of dope. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, wow, dude, I mean, you had a mouth on you like a few weeks ago. You had all these drugs and money, and now you ain't got nothing. And that's how it is with a lot of these people is, they want you to think they're big and bad, but once they're out of money and drugs, nobody could care less about them. And that's just how it is. And that's what I've witnessed. So, yeah, and I mean, even somebody like that, I bet the Escobar dude wouldn't even care because, like I said, he's all about the business, all about the money. He clearly doesn't care what happens after his merchandise or his product gets, shipped out to God knows where. So, yeah, and that's my take on it. It's kind of bizarre, but, it's a fact of life when it comes to drugs. People are just something else. So, I'm just grateful to God I'm not around people like that, not living that life. And like I said, if you are and you want to get free, you want to be free, you can always do it. If I can get out of a lifestyle like that, you can get out of it too. Because I'm like the most stubborn, hard-headed, freaking just, I don't know, man. I can't even think of how, the word to describe myself. I don't know, just pig-headed and stubborn. That's it. Very, very, very stubborn at times. But, that was to my own detriment. Man, here I go again, just running off the mouth, because evidently I like the sound of my own voice. Can you tell? Anyway, so if you haven't subscribe to my channel. Please do. And even if you're not going to subscribe, please share so, other people can know that I exist. Like I said, my goal is to have 10,000 followers on my Journey in Recovery Facebook page and 10,000 subscribers here on YouTube. And I almost feel like it's way more difficult to get subscribers on YouTube than it is to get followers on Facebook. It's crazy. So, but anything is possible, both good, bad, and indifferent. So that's my goal, is to get 20,000 people who are listening to my story and spreading around the hope that I'm trying to spread. Like I said, my goal is to spread hope across the globe. As corny and as cliche as that sounds, that's what it is. So Morgan's still not here, so I'm going to go anyways because I'm done talking about what I was talking about. I hope you, gain something from it. Love you guys. Be safe out there. It's a crazy, crazy world. Well, God bless y'all. Good night. Bye.